I've been talking to a few beginners lately who are frustrated with their soloing. And one of the things I'm most noticing that's a common theme throughout the conversation is they're trusting in the scale, or they're trusting in someone telling them the scale that it will allow them to get the result that they want. Right? So one of the people I was talking to was already able to play a song, and the song that he could play was just a very simple 1-4-5 version of Amazing Grace. So I've actually orchestrated a little string arrangement of it, just in block chords. But the idea is here, these chords, there are 3 of them, okay? So gone through this a little bit with some other videos and some other chords, but these 3 are, we're doing it in the key of C major. The 3 chords we're using are C, F, and G. All major chords, just triads. So the chord tones for C major, is C, E, G. So I'm just gonna have that on, right? Here's my C. So all I want to do is hold one of those notes. I chose to hold an E, right? Not playing a scale, not caring about scales or modes or patterns or anything of that nature, right? I'll start it again. This time I'm gonna play a G. Here's a G. Also has a good sound, right? G is one of the tones literally being played by one of the instruments that I have written there. I have complete versions of the chords and all of those. And then let's play a C, right? Nice. And I'm actually playing a little lower volume today, so this way we could really hear the authority, which is the track itself, and then, you hear just the notes that they sound very consonant, very pleasant with it, right? So the important thing to understand here is that when we're on any given chord, especially a triad, a 3-note chord, a chord that is only comprised of what's called 3 pitch classes, anytime we're on this, we are only sort of safe and going to have really intentional, good, the most pleasant sounds if we play those 3 pitch classes. So literally, as I played the C, I played the E, I played the G, they sounded great with the C chord, right? The other 9 notes will not sound as great, right? Some might have a reference, some might sound a little jazzy or whatever, right? But the other 9 notes in the 12 total of music will not sound as great. So this is why scales become a problem for people when they're soloing, because they feel like they can trust this group of 5 or 7 notes to all sound as great. But that is not the case. Only the notes in the chord will sound the best, the most consonant, the most intentional, the most right. Okay? So now the next chord in Amazing Grace is the F chord. Now the chord tone's here, F, A, C. Okay? So as this comes up, as this comes up, I'm going to play those notes. Here's my F. It's shorter in the composition, so we'll do it again. There's my A. Okay, we'll do it again. Here's my F. Sounds very good. And then we'll play the C again. Excellent. So those are the 3 chord tones that make up the F, right? The only other chord in it is the G. So we'll skip forward to that. G, B, D are the chord tones. Let's go through them one at a time. Here's my G. Sounds great. Okay. Let's play a B. Sounds great. Okay. And let's play a D. Playing it as a harmonic, but that's a D note. All right, there we have it. All right, those all sound very good. So now, if I put Amazing Grace on from the beginning, all I want to do is play, and I'm not going to play any scales or anything. I'm just going to play 1 chord tone per chord change, and that is it. And that's the most basic soloing we can do, but the goal isn't to be expressive or emotional or anything like that. It's just to play the most right-sounding notes so we can enjoy that once and for all. Okay, here we go. And so I kept, didn't mean to, I kept a lot of the common tones. You saw I played the G note a lot at the end there, and they all sounded right, right? So the idea is that I don't have to move around to get the right sound. I just have to know what the right sounds are, period. No matter what you're playing over, no matter what the chord is, B minor 7 over D or B minor 7 over F, right? Whatever the harmony is, it's comprised of some of the notes of the chromatic scale, the 12 notes in Western music. All we need to know are which notes are in the chord and which notes are not. And when you're a new player learning the solo, I was actually talking about this with one of my students today in a lesson, that if we really want to be able to play well and play in the chord really well, the chord tones, just take 10 minutes only allowing yourself to play chord tones as your solo, like unaccompanied, you know? So if I took C major, that chord, and the notes C, E, G, right? Continue for another bunch of minutes, right? The idea here is that those are the most right notes that happen when we play a C chord. Now, let's say I take a little of the beginning here with that C chord. If I play something like that, all the notes down, playing an F, so I want to go to the F. There we go. Now back to the C. Now here comes the G. How about a G note for the G chord? Right? So you can see how this starts to develop, right? The key is, my dog is barking. The key is to know what notes you're actually playing on the guitar, so you could take this basic music theory knowledge, hence what pitch classes are in the chord, what notes make up the chord, and then just play the right notes at the right time. And without moving, without scale shapes, without transposition, get to just play a nice sound. And that is what so many people are missing. They're practicing their scales. They're not happy with their playing. That is why they're not able to play the right notes enough. So hopefully this was insightful. Hopefully this gave you some aha moments and some good epiphanies. If you yourself are having a lot of trouble having a nice time when you're soloing and making it very intentional and just making it feel easy, and you would like my help with that, please feel free to send me a message. I'd love to help you out. Thank you. Have a great night.